Good morning, everybody. Happy April Fool's Day. And no, I wasn't going to stand you up. I'm here, live. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. As usual, my friends, let's drink it if we got it. And I'm going to leave this view on for a second. I want to show you something new today. That's good, that's good. I'm going to leave this view on. Something new happened this morning. And it's kind of monumental. It's kind of a milestone in my recovery. As you know, my right side was completely paralyzed. Leg, arm. My right arm hasn't. I've come back, I've got used to the hand. But today, for the first time, I can stick my arm up over my head. Move it out like this, move it around in front of me. Oops, just knocked the microphone. It ain't easy, but it brought tears to my eyes this morning when I could do that. And little by little, every day, I get more and more function back. Let's pick this one so you can see the chat. And my front door motion sensor is going off because they're mowing the grass outside. Every time he goes by on the lawnmower, we're going to hear those chimes. But I gotta keep those things on. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm a happy camper. Now I got lawnmowers right outside my window. Their sense of timing is perfect as usual. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. I wish I could be doing this every morning, but I've been so busy. Got so many appointments that I got to set up. Going to the doctor at the VA tomorrow. I don't know if you can hear that lawnmower, but it's right outside my window. He couldn't have done this 5 minutes earlier, maybe? No. I have 124 of you so far. Well, good to see you. Good to see you. I've been home by myself after my daughter left now for 2 full days. Doing great, getting a lot more mobile. Oh, wow, I wish that lawnmower would go away. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. All right, there you go. That's better. Anyway, I'm still here in the studio. I'm still doing everything with my left hands, but my right arm, it appears a few more days. Hopefully I'll have full function of it again. Be able to work the computer with the right hand, with the mouse on the right hand, and start getting back to normal. My mobility is getting better. I'm spending more and more time on my feet. I'd rather this had not happened. But it is a very interesting experience. I know that may sound crazy to you, but it's fascinating. And participating in this kind of recovery firsthand and watching the healing power of a human body, the fact that the brain, with its neuroplasticity, can reroute the connections to all your muscles and limbs is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I think it works better when the medical community does not try to interfere, throw all kinds of drugs with it. I stopped taking those prescriptions for the beta blocker. They were killing me. I would wake up with no energy. They kept slowing my heart rate down when my heart rate was already around 60. They told me, you should keep taking them, but nobody could tell me why. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt of knowing something, but not when I can see such severe adverse effects. So I'm down right now to taking baby aspirin only, no drugs. They would have me on 10 different drugs if I let them. No drugs. Carnivore is my drug. I'm back on pure carnivore now. I thought I needed to add a few carbs because I kind of got re-addicted in the hospital. My daughter, I said, buy me some blueberries. I found out real quick that I couldn't just eat 1 cup of blueberries. And I threw away the next day what I had left, figuring the addiction is still there, and I'm better off without it. So yesterday I ate no carbs, no nothing, just bacon, eggs, some beef, some lunch meat, a couple of slices of cheese, and I feel great today, no cravings, and the cravings do go away pretty quickly. Like I said, it's a great experience. I'm learning so much, and I want to share it. I want to share it with you guys. I want to talk a little bit about my 911 video yesterday. I got the button already. It's tangled up in the headphone cord. Here it is. The button, the one that I got, comes from the VA. They evidently have their own deal. Probably the same as most. It works on Verizon cellular network, so it works everywhere. They call it Honor Alert, and the VA pays for it. Why not? I activated it this morning, tested it, works fine. So just another little safeguard. I'll probably, when I get over this and recover more and more, probably not wear it out all that much, but for right now, I'm wearing the thing. You never know. You never know what might happen. I have to go to the VA tomorrow, see my primary care. I call her a doctor, but she's a nurse practitioner. We're way past the point of her lecturing me, and if I feel that I need anything, I'll ask her, and she'll get it for me. It's great. It's a good relationship. And as far as I'm concerned, the VA treats me just fine. Well, let's see who we got here this morning. I know I'm getting back to normal myself because at 4 o'clock this morning, I was wide awake. And I've been up since 4. Going here and there and everywhere, doing this and that, and I kind of tuckered myself out. So if for some reason I should start slurring more, I am a little tired because I've already been going at it for five hours this morning. I'm going to try to get to some of your questions today. But let me start here in the chat. And first off, we had Nikki W. Good to see you, Nikki. And Media Twos is here. This is yesterday evening. Kitchen Witch, how you doing? Patty Molden, good to see you. What happened? Oh, God. Why does it do that to me? It skips all the way to the bottom and I have to go back to the top again. That's the problem with me and this, and trying to work the mouse with my... Oh, I see why I did that. I try to work the mouse with my left hand. I'm not used to it. You'll excuse me, please. Jiffy, good morning to you. And here we have No Slow. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Lori is here. Richard Williams calling me old fart. Hi, Richard. How you doing? Aunt B is here. Thomas Stargate Prime Rib, good to see you. Tina Schweigerath. Retired Rick is here. This is still last night. Cliff Medina. Marcia Z, how you doing? B81 Mac, Lady June. Wayne Herman. It's good to see that gang all here. It really, really is. Greg Smith. Hiya, buddy. Greg's currently in Little Rock. I want to run, probably running shoes for Amazon. Be safe out there, man. And Terry Sue is here. Hi, Terry. Mike Seeley Sr. from here in Melbourne. Mike Seeley Jr. followed right on his heels. At 8:15 this morning, Jerry Hall chimed in. Lori, Jeff Johnson. I chimed in because you were all speculating that I wouldn't show up as an April Fool's joke. I wouldn't do that to you. Marla Kelly's here, and the furrow grandma, retired Rick. Good to see you all. Sandy, Blythe, Jackie W. Hi, Jackie. How are you? And who we got here? Harry Dion. Looking for who the first one was at 9:30. Booby Goats. Aaron. How are you, Aaron? Retired Rick and Couch Potato chimed in. Sharon McCabe chimed in. 9:27. Angie. Gracie, how you doing? I'm looking for a lot of repeats here. People trying to get right on the money. 8:29. Rick from Miami. Hiya, Rick. How are the Ducks? Charger Mopar. Tammy Patarch is here this morning. Good to see you. And we're 9:29. Here it is. And the winner. Oh, I got to do this. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. I got to do it. It worked. It worked. No slow. Congratulations, you are the winner at the bell 9:30, followed closely by Lewis L. from New York. Good to see you, Lewis. Me too is Jason H. Where are you? There you are. Jason H. Lori T. Mitchell. Brian, fly fisherman. Dish. Hiya, Brian. Somebody I don't recognize. Retired Rick again. Sammy Shuford. Wow. Elisa Winter Viger. Wow. From Denmark. Figures. Welcome. Good to see you from over there. It's kind of late at night. No. That's right. This is a morning show. This is a mid-afternoon over there. Cool. Very good. Angie compliments me and says, a man on time. That's me. That's me. And we're still at 9:30. Still at 9:30. Angie again. Lori again. Wow, all the people pushing the button at 9:30. Princess Mom, how are you, Princess? Good to see you. And Lizzie, the first one at 9:31. That's great. That was great. My buddy Jody's here. Drone Shots. Hi, Jody. How you doing, man? Graceful Lily's here. Simpson Johns. I always thought, if that isn't the most British sounding name, man, I love it. I love it. And I'll go a few more down here, and then we'll get into it. Josephine C. is here. Danny in Boston is here. Amy Meinzer. Hi, Amy. How are you? Good to see you. Lewis was complimenting on me waving my right arm over my head. You have no idea what happened. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I moved my arm, and it just felt different. So I turned on the light in the bedroom, and there's an exercise. I want to show you. I want to show you this exercise. So I'm going to go back to the rear view here. There's a particular exercise where you're supposed to put your arms out, both of them, and you're supposed to cross this way, and cross this way, and cross this way. Now you notice my right arm is getting tired already. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was doing that. And I've been doing that all morning because I'm so amazed. I couldn't do that yesterday. Could not get my right arm anywhere near there yesterday. But at 2 o'clock this morning. And that's the way the incremental recovery is coming from this. And it's just fascinating. So I got up at 4 o'clock. I had dirty dishes in the sink from my cooking yesterday, and it's tough to wash dishes in the sink from a wheelchair because everything's up high. I was tired from the day. I didn't want to stand up in front of the sink for any less time, so I left them till this morning. I washed them this morning, and for the first time, I could use both of my hands in the process. I also tied my shoes this morning in a few seconds. I've been able to tie my shoes for about a week, but it has taken me 3, 4, 5 minutes of agonizing, trying to control that right hand. And this morning, I tied my shoes in seconds, like I used to. Wasn't even thinking about it. And it's that kind of incremental recovery that makes you want to just get out of the wheelchair, get up and just start living your life again. I know so many people that have had strokes, they resign themselves. Well, this is the way I'm going to be. I'm going to be in a wheelchair all my life. I guess I better get the handicap sticker, better get the ramps put in. Not me. I refuse to do that stuff. My only thought is I will recover and I won't need all that stuff. And I have been pushing myself and it is paying off. And I've been asked, God knows how many times in the comments on these videos, do you credit carnivore? Even though the medical community, here comes the guy with the blower outside now, or the weed eater. I'm assuming you can't hear it that loud. I'm crediting carnivore for what it did for my health, for my brain health, the fact that I have adequate cholesterol to heal my brain. I eat enough fat to heal for the fact that A, the stroke didn't kill me, B, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, and I'm healing. I'm recovering as fast as I can, as fast as I am recovering. I think that many people have said to me, are you going to give up carnivore now? No, I'm going to double down on carnivore. I still can't believe that an evolutionary diet that got us to where we are as a species could be harmful in any way. And let my physiology do what it's programmed to do. Why did I have the stroke? It's only conjecture. Only conjecture. But considering, if you took all the strokes that happen to people, and most of those people are lowering their cholesterol artificially somehow, there's no fewer of them than anybody else, and no fewer carnivores. I think that the stroke had nothing to do with the diet, because so many people on the so-called healthy diet, taking statins and lowering their cholesterol, in fact, I think more of them are dying from strokes and heart attacks than those of us that are carnivore. You could always find, but I think being carnivore doesn't mean you're superhuman and you're not subject to this. I got a very interesting email yesterday. I may make a video about it, but I have to research it more. From a fellow named Marcus. And he sent me this video, and it's all about a lot of research being done in the effects. It sounds almost conspiratorial. The effects of cell phone microwave radiation on our brains, and they're linking. I know it sounds wild, but they're linking damage because microwave radiation cooks things, and these things are constantly putting out radiation. And where do I hold my cell phone? Right up to my left ear most of the time. That's where the stroke happened. It's entirely possible, certainly as possible as the fact that my high cholesterol caused the stroke. So I'm open to any possible cause. I would love to nail it down, but nobody can. Not the doctors, not the researchers, not anybody. But there's no indication that it could have anything to do with being a carnivore. So that's the last thing I would want to give up. I'd rather give up using cell phones, to tell you the truth, than give up the carnivore diet. So what I'm doing is endeavoring to use the speakerphone almost exclusively and not put that thing up against my brain while I'm on the phone and it's transmitting at its maximum power. I think there's something to it. I think it deserves a much deeper dive. But it's not just cell phones. We are just inundated with electromagnetic radiation from everywhere in our homes. We all have Wi-Fi. We have devices sitting on every table that are communicating. I can't believe it that we have no effect from this, whether it's a deadly effect, whether it had anything to do with my stroke, whether my stroke was just in the fact that I ate a ton of shit over my life in the first 75 years, even though I was trying to be low carb. I ate my share of stuff that does cause atherosclerosis. So who's to say? We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I don't want to give big speeches today. I want to interact some more with you guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run down. I'll look for questions. And not try to say hi to everybody because there's almost 300 of you here. And God, we had more fun the other day with Nelson here and Kilts. And wow. Lizzie, thank you, Lizzie. Lizzie said, Mitch, just your luck you will live to tell 105. Yeah. I don't know if I even want to, but if I'm healthy, fine. But I do not want to live a life where I'm constantly on drugs, in and out of doctor's offices every day. That's no way to live. So I'm still taking my shot, and I'm still going to continue with the carnivore. I'm going to have for lunch today about a half a pound of bacon, 4 or 5 eggs. And I still have some roast beef and turkey and some Swiss cheese. I made some roll-ups for dinner. I wanted to have some food here after my daughter left that I didn't have to cook. But I got the cooking down pat, the cleaning down pat. The right arm's coming back. I'm getting around. I'm not wobbly. Haven't come close to falls. My son is backing down, so I got help if I need it. But this is recovery for me. People suggest that I get married again real quick. No. This recovery for me is a solo effort, and I'm going to make it on my own. And I'm going to make it because It isn't the first time I've come back from some kind of disaster or others in this life. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. I saw a couple of them go by. Mama Bear. Oh, Mama Bear sent me a really neat meme today. I just thought this was great, and I want to show it to you. It says, "Doctor, make sure you're eating enough vegetables." And there's a picture of the vegetables. Is that great or what? That says it all. Eat the vegetables. Look at that. It's great. I love it. I wanted to show it to you this morning. Thank you, Mama Bear, for sending me that. That's great. I love these kind of things. Thank you. Wow. Look at this. Got a super chat. Oops. Now, can't click it there. No, sorry. I'll show it to you later. But Harry Dion sent me $20. Love you, man. You're the best, he says. Thank you, Harry. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate that. Let me get back to this. That was a funny meme, wasn't it? All right. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. I'm looking for questions. I'm kind of scanning the comments, but there's so many of them. Retired Rick says, Mitch, my LDL was 207. My doctor wants me back on statins. He said I'm in a danger zone for a stroke or heart attack. Well, I can't, I'm talking here from a reputationally challenged perspective, because I can't say for sure, even though I'm 99% certain, that my stroke wasn't caused by my 350 LDL. But quite frankly, with all the explanations from the doctors, I had an ischemic stroke, which is a clot, a blockage, not a hemorrhagic stroke, which is usually caused by very high blood pressure when a capillary bursts. They call that a bleeding stroke. Two entirely different things. In talking to Kiltz and Nelson the other day, we were talking about the fact that a stroke and a heart attack are basically the same thing. They're caused by a blockage. Whether it's in the brain, it'll be a stroke. When it's in the heart, it'll damage heart muscle. You have a heart attack. So a stroke and a heart attack, at least when it comes to the ischemic kind, have a lot in common. I don't see an exorbitant number of carnivores or people with high cholesterol having strokes or heart attacks. In a meta-analysis study that was done a number of years ago on more than 20,000 people from 19 different studies of statins, they came to the conclusion that they got it backwards. That the older people over like 70, who had the highest levels of LDL, had the lowest rates of all-cause mortality. They died less. They've also pretty well come to the conclusion that once you get to about 75 years ago, going on a statin is a useless endeavor. If you have any damage, it's done. It's not going to fix the damage that you have, the blockages. It will, they think, keep it from progressing more, but there's no evidence of that. So with all the things that I've got going, 78 years old, I can't see a reason to take the statin that they prescribe, because the You can't make this up, honest to God. What I'm about to say, you can't make this up. I got a very nice man, Indian doctor. I won't mention any names. I've been refraining to name names in this thing. I talk generically about the doctors and the places I was. Very nice guy. He claimed when he came in and saw me, he was a lipidologist. I didn't see that level of expertise in him. He is the most statin-pushing doctor I've ever seen. He said, I needed to be on a statin. I said, why? It's not going to lower. And we had some discussions. And he spent a lot of time with me. And I spent a lot of time with him, arguing our cases. And he agreed with me that no, if I had blockages, at this stage of the game, a statin is not going to reverse them. As far as bringing my cholesterol down, he said, that would take 6 months. He said, statins have an effect that seems, and these are words like may help, seems to help, might help, not will help. Always conjecture, you know. Ozempic might not screw you up for life. And, you know, you've all seen the guys talk, always the words may do this, might do that. That's not definitive. There is a study that shows that after a stroke, a statin adds about 4% to your odds of not getting another stroke. But again, at 78 years old, most recommend, why bother? Why bother taking a statin? The potential benefit is not worth the risk of some of those side effects. And some of those side effects can be severe, especially muscle damage and especially heart muscle damage. I got a lot of emails, people telling me that, asking me if I got the vax, the jab, because there's a ton of not real evidence because it didn't come from a test, epidemiological evidence that people are seeing clotting issues caused by that. And that has been said to have caused strokes. There's so many possible things and no way of knowing exactly what happened. And that's the most confusing part of this whole deal. I want to do something if it's going to help. I don't want to start dosing myself with things and taking drugs and doing things that, if anything, make it worse or screw up the rest of my health. And it's a decision that I go over in my mind every day. And at this point, the winning strategy is go back to what you were doing before the stroke and keep an eye on things. So I am going to go to the VA to see my doctor, discuss some concerns I have with some of the misinformation I got from the many doctors that saw me in the 2 hospitals that I was in. I doubt that she has the insight anyway, because that's not what she does. She's a nurse practitioner at the VA. About the only thing she knows about carnivore and the carnivore diet is what I preach to her every time I go in every year and see her. And she recommends the statin because that's what the VA tells her to do, and she'll lose her job if she doesn't. She knows I wasn't going to take it. So I'm going to get me out of the house if nothing else. And they're sending a contractor out to my house to install a few grab bars around here and there to make it safer for me in my bathrooms. They send me the button. So they're being very helpful, and they paid all the bills. And so far we're up to about $100,000, and we haven't even gotten to the second hospital yet, or the bill from the first hospital. That's just the emergency room, and a few odds and ends. We're already up at $100,000. This is going to be, when I'm all said and done, at least $300,000 to $400,000 worth of so-called medical care. They were willing to spend $300,000 to $400,000 to try to kill me. I didn't know that there was such a price on my head. It's crazy. It's crazy. You have to look at these bills and what they charge. I may make a video about that when all the bills are in. Most of you know what it is. You've had them yourself. Here I am rambling again. Retired Rick, LDL 207, doctor wants you back on statin. Yeah. I don't think 207 is low as far as I'm concerned. And it depends on so many other things. How's your HDL? Is it high? Mine's close to 80. How's your triglycerides? Are they low? That's what's important. How's your weight? How's your BMI? Because we got this whole lean mass hyperresponder thing going on, that those of us that are thin, low BMI, high HDL, medium to low triglycerides, it seems as though the LDL doesn't mean squat. And that's what I've been going on. In fact, it's healthier to have the high LDL, especially if you're burning fat and trafficking all that fat through your bloodstream. You need the little LDL boats to carry that stuff to all the cells. That's the lipid energy model Dave Feldman and Nick Norwitz are doing. Watch those guys. It makes sense to me. See, if you know me at all, you know that I don't care what anybody says. Common sense trumps everything. It dictates whether something is believable. If it doesn't make sense, like a high sugar diet, it's not even close to ancestral, not even close to evolutionary. Meat makes sense. Meat makes sense for so many reasons. Number one, you are what you eat. What are we? Are we plants? Are we fruit? Are we fiber? No. We are 100% meat, protein, and fat. We use sugar, but we make sugar. They say you are what you eat. I translate that around and say eat what you are. That makes sense. If I've got to patch up a brick wall, I want to patch it with bricks, not cardboard. Stuff's got to make sense. We're losing it in this world. I don't know what this food supply is doing to our brains, but they're simply not working. Obvious there. Any more questions? I'm still way back at the beginning of the chat here. So many of you. Well, it appears Ellen's here. Sweetie, how you doing? You aren't any different. Oh, I'm different. Kid, I'm different. There's no doubt about that. This has been a life-altering event. Don't let anybody tell you that one of these things isn't. This is like being in a major car accident and having every bone in your body broken and having to face all that rehabilitation and mending and medical treatment. It's an adventure I would rather not have had. But now that I've had it, I'm going to try to make something out of it. Maybe I'll learn something and can help some other people impart to other people. And I've heard from so many of you in the comments, and I'm really working hard to read them all. I had it easy compared to some of you guys, and I feel for you. I feel for you. But welcome, Ellen. Ellen's back in the chat saying hi to everybody, and I need to call you, Ellen. If you're still here, I need to give you a call. I'm afraid we'll probably talk for hours. Questions. I'm looking for the cues. Here's one. Princess Mama. Princess, other than the alert, what other changes do you think you'll make? Well, there's so many aspects to this. There's the health aspect. You know, do I need to make a change in the way I eat, or what medications I take, or any other habits? There's the preparedness aspect. What do I do if it happens again? God forbid it's worse than this time. That's where the button. That's where the button comes in. One change I'm going to make, and it's coming from Amazon today, is I'm installing a digital deadbolt lock on my front door. It's got a key, but it's also got a keypad. And I'm going to call 911, the emergency services, because they will put in with your record any access codes that you may have to your maybe community where you live or to the locks on your house. It may diminish my level of security in my house a little bit, but I think the benefits of having to not have emergency people, first responders, break down your door and fixing it afterwards. And I got my son is handy with a screwdriver. Here you are, you're carted off and your front door is wide open. I'd rather be able to lock it up on the way out. So that's coming today from Amazon. My son and I are going to install that. And it'll be a code for the front door. And that way people will be able to get in. I think that might be a smart thing to do too. As far as other changes, I'll let you know as I make them. Right now, it's having everything in my home in a place where I can get to it without too much grief, and yet still have a house that appears orderly and just doesn't look like a hoarder lives here. And I managed to do that, and I got it to the point now where I can live my life. And at the rate that I seem to be gaining function, that shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. And pretty soon I think I'll be walking unaided. And I have functional use of my right side. And at that point, as far as I'm concerned, I'm there. If I get stuck with any residual deficits from this, my speech still's got a long way to go, even though you all tell me I sound great. It is an effort. I have to consciously think about enunciating my words. That's part of speech therapy, but it's not automatic yet. It's not automatic yet, and I need to be conscious of that to myself when I talk. I sound like what you hear deaf people. It sounds to me like a deaf person talking inside my head. But when I watch the replay, I sound pretty intelligible. That's different. It's something that I have to get used to. I hope that will improve some of this stuff I may be stuck with the rest of my life. Whatever it is, it will be. I keep hearing my phone go off. Let me see if anything I need to deal with. Nope. Don't forget, shameless plug here. I haven't changed that much. If you all want to buy me a coffee, feel free to do it. I appreciate so many people have been so generous to me. And I got to tell you, it really has helped. It really has helped. But no obligation. No obligation at all. I'm going to continue that and see if I can find any more questions real quick. How are you? We've got 46 minutes so far. Jeff Johnson's here. Hiya, Jeff. How you doing? It is fascinating. Great motivation, Jeff says. You sound much more clear in your enunciation. Thank you, Jeff. I am consciously trying. And by consciously trying, I will reawaken or rewire my brain to do that by memory without conscious intervention. It's like practicing shooting a basketball. You think about it first, but the goal is muscle memory and not think about it and just do it. You have to relearn everything after a stroke. It's like being a kid again. I had to learn to relearn to tie my shoes. I think you're going to do well if you don't feel sorry for yourself. I had about 2 days of that when I first was in the hospital and pretty well paralyzed on the right side. I couldn't wiggle a finger or a toe. I couldn't even make my leg move or my arm. It's so easy to get depressed, especially in a hospital with the way they treat you. I'll never stop talking about that. I had to get a few pep talks from my kids, and I did. And they went kind of like, if anybody will come back from this pop, it's you. You've come back from shit that would kill the average human being, they told me. Pumping me up. Constantly pumping me up. Great kids. Great kids. That wouldn't let me sink in any kind of depression or despair. Positive. Motivating me. And as soon as I saw some hint of recovery, and that only took a couple days, that spirit fired up of me. Oh yeah, I got angry at the stupidity that I saw in the hospital. I got angry at the way I was treated and ignored. I got angry at some of the nurses with their friggin' attitudes. Horrible. Horrible. They are sadists of the highest order. So I think they get off on abusing people. They're in the wrong job. On the other hand, some of the nicest people I've ever met were also caregivers. But it doesn't take many of the bad ones to spoil the whole of the experience. But staying positive and not dwelling. And the first 2 days, I couldn't think about anything else but all of the different talents that I have that took a lifetime to accomplish. Talents as a musician, talents as a pilot, as a model airplane pilot, world-class competitive level, as a drone pilot. All of the things that I did needed 2 hands. And that meant that part of my life was over. And I lay there, and it was so easy to sink into despair because all I could think about was, I'll never do that again. I'll never do that again. I'll never enjoy that again. And it's depressing. And my kids pulled me out of that. And now, I probably will do that again. I probably will be able to fly my drones again. I may not play the piano like I used to, but I'll make music come out of the thing. And I got positive. I've been trying to stay positive and look on the bright side. And my friends, you guys have been such a help with your support and your comments. You have no idea. But if I had to give anybody in this situation with anything like this, don't give up. Don't give up till it's over. And when it's over, it will matter anyway. But as long as you got something to fight with, let your body do what it knows how to do and heal itself. And we'll see how far it goes. And I've already resigned myself to the fact that from this point on, whatever I get in additional mobility, functionality, as far as I'm concerned, is a gift, a second chance, and I'm not going to question it, and I'm not going to feel bad because, well, I did this, but that didn't come back fully. Nah. Make the best of the life you got, no matter what your circumstances are. It's tough. Gemma just said, Mitch, you're going to fly Kelsey's plane. Yeah, Kelsey said to me, as soon as you can climb the stairs, I'm going to take you for a ride on my plane. I said, you be careful, I'll be flying your plane. And that might happen because I'm getting better faster than anybody ever expected. So we'll see. But I can't say enough about those guys. Robert Kiltz, Nelson. They do so much. They put so much into this YouTube. They don't get the recognition. They really don't. That they deserve, especially Kiltz, for what he does. But I see it. It's coming. I see it, that it is coming for him. People are discovering him. He's a good man. One of the most generous guys I've ever seen. Incredible. Let me get. I'm back. Oh, okay. I hit the wrong button. Hang in there. Let's see. I come back. Yeah, there I am. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I'm still really not as smooth a producer as I could be. Let's see. I was looking for questions. Hope I didn't lose too many people. No, you're still all here. Cool. That's what happens when here we go. Here's a question. These are recent questions. I went down to the bottom. Mitch, have you had a CMIT or an angiogram to see the blockage? My husband's cardioids were very blocked, which caused the blood clot. Yeah, I'm sure that they saw some blockages in my brain. What caused them? Who knows? Could have been a shit diet for so many years. Could have been the brain surgery that I had. Could have been the cell phone stuff. Could have been anything. We're still human. And I'm still old. It's not like I'm a 30-year-old. Yeah, I'll be 78 in 4 weeks. 78 friggin' years old. Wow. I know that some of you are older, but to me, that just is a big number. It's a big number. When I first went in, they wanted to do an angiogram on me because a cardiologist had said that he suspected that I had an ejection fraction that was low. And they had me scheduled for an angiogram, catheterization. on a Thursday. But they wanted to wait a couple days because the neurologist and the cardiologist were at odds. The neurologist wanted my blood thin, wanted me to be on a higher dose of aspirin for the stroke side of it. The cardiologist, on the other hand, needed my blood less thin. And the two of them couldn't come to an agreement. Well, Wednesday before the Thursday, I was supposed to go in for that catheterization, and I've never had a cath. I've never had that. The cardiologist ordered another coronary ultrasound, and he come bopping in afterwards. He said, good news, your ejection fraction is up to normal. I think normal is anywhere up to 70% or so. We're going to call off the angiogram and not worry about your heart. And after you get all through recovering from this stroke, if you want to come and see me, make an appointment in my office, and we'll see if you really do have anything wrong. So I said, that's great news, Doc. See you. Well, 10 minutes later, they're hauling me off to the rehab hospital. So I don't know whether I have to worry about that or not, but that's a subject I'm going to broach. I'm going to bring up with my doctor at the VA tomorrow. And what happened? I just lost technical stuff. Yes. Hang with me 1 second, guys. I know this is less than professional show business, but I have to try to get back my chat. Where did it go? Where did it go? Let me go to this screen here. Sorry. Let's see. Let's do this. You see it has crashed. It says not enough memory. And let me go to the chat and let me try to find it again. Not enough memory. Is that it? No. Okay. Hold on a second. I'll get it. Pop out chat. There it is. Okay. Oh, give me 10 more seconds and I'll have it here. Let's go to this. That's not it. I have no idea what's going on. Gonna have to go without that. Sorry, guys. All right. So, yeah, they did imaging, but nobody made any more out of it than what I told you. So, who knows? What time is it? Well, I'm up to 10:11 in this chat that I'm looking at here, and I have the current chat in front of me now too. Got that fixed. Lat. Question: how often are you getting home therapy? That's a good question. There's one company that seems to administer, and the VA sent them, and the VA pays for it. And there are many kinds of therapy. There is what they call occupational therapy. I joked, I said, can you teach me to be a doctor? That's not what that means. Occupational therapy is just about getting along in everyday life, teaching you practical things, like how to take a shower, how to live, how to cook, how to clean, how to get from here to there. It's just practical life type stuff. Then they have physical therapy, That's where the exercises come in to help you walk, to help, push you a little bit. Exercises you do with your arms. You take your hand, you open and close it. The speech therapy comes in. And speech therapy has you doing all kinds of exercises for your mouth, like, or sticking your tongue out, doing all kinds of things. And then they have a visiting nurse. So I get a call the other day from the visiting nurse. I hadn't seen her yet. I've seen all the other therapists. In fact, today, in an hour and a half, I have my physical therapist coming in. And I'll spend about 3/4 of an hour with him. And pushing the limits of what I can do without worrying about falling down, because he'll be there probably with a big belt around me holding on. I had an observation the other day that I feel I don't have the advantages of a toddler learning to walk. The advantages a toddler has is the toddler is going to fall on his ass 30 times a day and get right back up and keep trying. If I were to fall on my ass even once, I would probably hurt myself and maybe not be able to get back up. So I have to learn to walk just like a toddler does without the advantages of being able to do the trial and error. So I said to myself, well, as long as I got a therapist coming here, and it's a big guy with lots of muscles, I'm going to use the time I have with him, I think, unless he's got a better idea, to try walking without a walker or a wheelchair and not worried about hurting myself or not being able to get up, but at least stretching my abilities without in a way that aren't dangerous. So I think I might suggest that to him today. We'll see. But the nurse wants to go. So I said to the nurse, now keep in mind, these people have no idea who they're talking to. I say that in a non-egotistical way. The average person out there, I mean, think about the average 77, 78-year-old guy. He doesn't know shit about medicine. He doesn't know shit about diet. He knows about football. He plays golf. He's got a belly out, out to here. He's on 15 different drugs, and he has a stroke. And they finally get him home, and they send this visiting nurse out to him, and he's like a 2-year-old. He doesn't know anything. She's got to teach him how to wipe his butt. She's got to. So I said to the nurse, I don't need any of that. The last thing I need is a medical professional that thinks they need to tell me what to do, what to eat, how to live. So I said, well, what are you coming out here? What are we going to do? First thing she says, well, I'm going to take your vitals because we need to keep track. We need to know what your blood pressure is. All that. I said, I know what my vitals are. I do it myself. What else you going to do? Well, we're going to go over your general health. We're going to go over your nutrition. We're going to go over your diet. I said, I already got that under control. What else you going to do? And when we got through her short list of things she was going to do, I said, would it hurt your feelings if I passed on this? And she acted like nobody had ever said that. I think I'm going to decline nurse visits, if it's all right with you. Is there any reason, for insurance purposes or anything other reason, why I have to let you come to my house and do all those things, which I think are unnecessary? And she started, well, I'm a medical professional and you don't know. I said, listen, sweetheart, if you knew 1% of what I know, you'd be much better at your job. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm asking you questions. And I had to get stern with her. I said, I don't need you. I've had enough people take my blood pressure every day. I've had enough people tell me which medicines I need to be on, what foods I need to eat. I don't need that. And I said, and it's nothing against you. I'm not saying that you're not a professional and that you don't do a great service for 99.9% of the people. I'm the 1% out there that does not need instruction in any of those things. Do I have to see you? Oh, no, it's up to you. I said, fine. Then just tell them that I decline. I do want all the therapy because I need that. I'm going to see the doctor in 2 days. He's going to do all the same things that you do. And I just don't need people probing and poking on me and giving me nutritional advice and telling me my cholesterol's too high. I'm sorry. I don't need it. And we parted friends, I guess. But I'm sure I insulted her a little bit. But that's what they want to do to you. They want to take your life over, mold you in the way that they know will ensure them a job for the rest of their life because you're going to need care. I'm not having it. And if I were to die, keel over, drop dead, I did it my way. And that's the one thing as human beings that we've got left. The one decision we can always do is tell them, I pass. Sorry. I'm going to pass. I don't want that. When you get in the hospital, they got you captive because you just can't get up and walk out. But anything that you can walk away from that you don't want, it's your decision, not theirs. And I'm resigned to the fact that if they try to force me or extort me in some way by saying things like, well, your insurance won't pay if you don't do it, I will say, the hell with the insurance, go away. Don't contact me again. I'll pay for myself. That's just what you got to do. Now, fortunately, the insurance companies won't force that on you. And that's not likely to happen. That's the one power we still have. And luckily, a lot of people say bad things about the VA and the VA healthcare system. But the one thing they do is they honor their patients. Where else do the doctors and nurses say to their patients, thank you for your service? And they all say it. And they all mean it. And they see the terrible price some of the veterans have paid. Thank you for your service. The final decision about any treatment we suggest is up to you. I was told that by the VA. Is up to you, and nobody will try to change your mind. You know, they'll give you facts, they'll give you their opinion, but you don't have to be that firm. In the regular medical community, if you try to pull the same thing, I don't want that, I don't think I need that, they immediately blacklist you. Label you as uncooperative, treat you like shit. How dare you challenge their expertise? And that's why I stick with the VA, because of that autonomy and the fact they have respect. They may not have all the facilities, they may be behind schedule on things. When Donald Trump was president the last time, they changed the law, which is why they're paying for everything for me now, because they can't provide it. Back then, they couldn't provide it, you didn't get it. Now, with the new law and the way that the current administration respects veterans got it pretty good, because the law says and passed in Congress. The law says if any veteran can't be given the medical treatment he needs within a reasonable length of time, and it's pretty reasonable, the VA must pay for that person to get the treatment out in the private medical community. Doesn't mean the treatment's any better, but it means you're not going to be stuck 3 months waiting for an x-ray if it's critical, because vets were dying waiting in line. And for that reason now, as a patient of the VA, any 911, any emergency, anything, weekends, day, night, I won't be taken to the VA clinic. I'll be taken to a hospital. And the VA will pay 100% of the bill. No deductibles, no minimums, no copays, no maximums, 100%. And on the bill, it says that every bill, every copy of every bill, the hospital bill's $10,000, the VA allows $600, and it says on the bill, the veteran will not be charged anything, period. In other words, if the hospital wants to be able to accept that money, and that's the way insurance companies work, and it's administered, believe it or not, by United Healthcare, administers all the VA payments, and they pay a fraction of what the hospitals actually charge. All insurance companies do. Medicare does. That's why if you have no insurance, here's a good tip. If you have no insurance, learn what the insurance companies pay for these different services, for a doctor's office visit, and tell your doctor, look, doc, I know that if I had this or that Medicare, they would pay you X amount of dollars for this visit. I'm a cash patient. I'll pay you the same amount, but I can't pay any more than that. Most doctors will say, fine. They're not going to try to sue you or hurt you, because they overbill dramatically because they know they're going to get their pants cut off. It's brutal. It's brutal out there. All right, let me get back to this. That was this question I was still answering and went off on a tangent as usual. One thing that this drug has not taken away from me is my desire to talk. I don't know why. Oh, here's it. How is the diner behind you holding up? Pretty good, I guess. It ain't going anywhere. Oh, here's a big one. Got 4 Qs. From Kathy, do you think that now you should monitor your blood pressure every day? I do it every couple of days anyway. My blood pressure is good. It's been good for a long time. I'm not worried about it. And I do take it every once in a while. But if I take my blood pressure when I'm excited and I've been busy and I've been talking, it's going to be high. If I take it like it's supposed to, where I said, relax, calm down, wait 5 or 10 minutes, take it in the morning, same time each day, it comes out exactly the same every day. And in the hospital, when I was in the hospital, my average blood pressure was about 115 over 60 something. My average resting heart rate was 60, 62. Sometimes they came in and took it in the middle of chaos. Chaos with my roommate. Me having to go to the bathroom so bad I could taste it. Aggravated, angry at them. Then they took my blood pressure. Your blood pressure is a little high. It's 150 over something. I said, you think that's high? You keep going like you're going. But you can't take blood pressure when you're aggravated. It's supposed to go up. There's a reason it goes up. Robin Michael, question, Mitch, have you had a okay, saw that one already. What time is it? Oh, we've been at it for an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, we're going to start wrapping it up here pretty soon. Let me down to the bottom of the chat here and see what the latest stuff is. Still got 284 people. Wow, wow, wow. Thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. Not the usual professional show business that I'm used to, but doing pretty good under the circumstances, I must say. And having an absolute ball. Oh, I want to say this. This is the thing that the VA sent me. They call it Honor Alert. They got their own deal. You can't buy one of these. Only a veteran can get one of these, and the VA pays for it. I'm sure they maybe have an offshoot company that sells them to everybody, but it's a pretty neat deal. I activated it this morning. It came yesterday. They mail it to you. And we tested it, and it worked. And it's like a cell phone. So you take this, you got this button, you push the button and hold it for a couple seconds, and it's a cell phone, and it has a speaker in it and a microphone, and it comes on, and the recording says, knows your name. Is this so-and-so? You say, yes. Are you having an emergency? You say, yes, and bingo, they transfer you to a person. I dropped this on the desktop, and it said to me, a fall has been detected. Press and hold the button if this was an accident, if this was a false alarm. So you press and hold the button, and it says, fall notification canceled. So this thing has fall detection in it too. Between this and a cell phone, which I made a few changes to make it easier to get into my phone, and for those of you hundreds of you who have left comments saying, all I got to do is yell, hey Siri, call 911 and it works. Well, wait until you're having a stroke. Wait until you can't enunciate words. Wait until your phone doesn't understand you. Because I tried that. And wait until you're in a house full of smoke, on the floor, facing death, to see how clearly you think. We all make these plans, what I'm going to do. And then the panic ensues and the tunnel vision. People buy guns, carry guns. They're not trained. They think they're prepared for an emergency. They find themselves in a life and death situation, crap their pants, freeze up, unable to move or think, and the bad guy comes up, takes their gun, and kills them with it. You have to do the best you can to count on not being able to react rationally, think clearly in any kind of panic situation like that. And I learned that the hard way. I said, I won't say the name because it'll trigger my thing, but hey, so-and-so, call 911. I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said. And I have Alexa, tried the same thing. Evidently, it could not, I was slurring my words, I was unintelligible, and it couldn't understand me. So all of the technology and gadgets in the world that respond to your voice still need to understand what you're saying. So you can't count on that. Hell, even this button, maybe I won't even be able to push the button. You can't. When you try to plan it out so you get the best odds you can. And that's what I'm doing now. Making a few changes, putting a digital lock on the door so that people can get in. I'm going to stop. I'm walking away from the stove whenever I put something in a frying pan. Period. Not going to do that again. If it's on the stove in a frying pan, I'm going to be sitting right in front of it. If I want to walk away from something that I'm cooking, it's going to be in an air fryer with a timer. Something that will shut itself off eventually. I learned that the hard way. I'm never going to do that again. These are the kind of things that I hope people will take away from this experience of mine. I'm not the first person to ever have this kind of experience, but I might be one of the first people with a YouTube channel and the ability to talk about it, to make a story out of it, and even inject a little humor. Because there was, as dire as that was, there was some things that I still found funny, even if only funny weird, as opposed to funny ha-ha. At any rate, my friends, I could go on like this all day. I got to eat something before my PT guy gets here at noon. It's 10 to 11. So I think I'm going to plan on doing this again on Friday morning. And I think I'm going to go Tuesday and Friday for my morning coffees for the time being, and start adding more in as we go. But Tuesday and Friday mornings, I'm going to be here. We're going to be ranting, raving. As we go, I'll probably talk less and answer more and more questions. Don't stop asking the questions. See, here's one, and that's a good idea. People give me the ideas. Gary says, Mitch, can you put a timer switch to power? Well, that would be very hard because the stove draws incredible amounts of electricity. No, I'm going to use an air fryer or some toaster oven or some kind of gadget that has a timer. That's all. You can pretty well cook anything in an air fryer. The only thing I really like to make in a frying pan, I make bacon and eggs, and I'll just stay there. I'm not going to walk away from it. Or a hamburger. I can put a hamburger in an air fryer. It comes out just as good. Friday morning, says Kitchen Witch. Tanya, you can count on it, dear. I'll be there because I know you'll all be there too. And you have no idea. I just don't think you understand. And I can't stop telling you all, every one of you, what it means to me to have you out there, to have your support and your wishes and positive vibes and energy that you're sending out into the universe that find their way to me. I feel it and I know it's there. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Somebody told me to take the rest of the day off and take a nap. No, I'm going to take the rest of the day off and eat meat. I don't nap. I don't nap a lot. Don't map a lot. At any rate, let me get a little traveling music going here. Oh, wait. Let's get some happy music. Yeah, there we go. Some cigar smoking, egg beating music. And you all take a minute or two to say goodbye to each other. Thanks for coming. It was a great morning. I'm so happy I did this today. So happy. And I got to share with you my arm that goes up now. Wow. Look at this. I could not hold my arm out up here yesterday. Incredible. Those little things you take for granted, that when they're gone, how thrilling it is. How thrilling it is to get them back. So who do we got here? We got Lynn Lay, Brian, Fisherman Dish, Terry Sue, say goodbye, Father of United Carnivore, Bill Cook, Deb Dixie Scott, Jemmet 048, Lori's Carnivore Story, Tanya, Kitchen Witch, Lisa R, Patricia Kidd, Jiffy, Kathy, Florida, David Parker saying goodbye, Lizzie again, the Furl, Grandma, Gary again, yes sir. Good to see you all. And This is going to end in a second. Who else we got to say goodbye? Everybody! Alrighty. Whoops. Thank you all so much for coming. I'll see you Friday morning. I'll probably put out a video or two between now and then. You know what to do. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.